Healthway Medical has been in existence since 1998, okay, and it was really a deliberate effort on the part of the owners then to put it in the malls, because we're out here in Metro Manila, we're kind of stuck, especially the one, of course, here in the city. The only places where we go to during the weekends and do everything is in the malls. And then it was in 2002 that Genrex took over, Genrex of Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Genrex of Hong Kong is under HKRI. HKRI is a property development company in Hong Kong. And then in 2002, they took over the management, the control of Healthway. Right now, we have 7 clinics and then 1 aesthetic clinic, which is Clarity. Check-up business. Basically, we start with that. So whatever you can do in the hospital except being confined, we can practically do here, except of course for the more complicated imaging things like CT scan, MRI, or whatever. We don't do that in the mall, of course, right? Here in the Philippines, it's a requirement by the government. That I understand that in other countries it's not, but in here it's a requirement. If, for example, you want to renew your business license, you have to show the government that your employees have had their annual physicals, and well, of course, it's actually optional for executives to have theirs, but of course the HRs include this also. Right now, I think we are among those who have pioneered the executive checkups being done, especially for busy executives. You do it all in the morning, we can finish it all for you, we have the facilities for it. And then in the afternoon, you can still have your meetings. So we can do that. So all our clinics have multi-specialty, multi-specialists. But we were the first clinic network that had it. But we're exploring into what other accreditation we would want to get into, whether it's JCI or Malcolm Baldrige and all that. Because we do know that, of course, while we have we maintain our standards, if we are to entice other clients, especially multinationals or let's say even get into medical tourism, then we will have to have some standard that they can trust. But here we're very close knit, and if the kind of care that you give, hopefully it didn't come from a dysfunctional family, but the kind of care and love and the thing that you get from your Filipino family, you can get from Healthway, because we make sure of that. Language does help, because it's kind of strange to be if people are foreigners, I mean, are comfortable, they are understood, and that they can converse with their caregivers or their caregivers, then the perception of being cared for is easier. Definitely, the real feeders of the clinics are, if you will go with economic levels, A being the highest and E being the ones, I don't know if there's even an F with upper B at all. We're B upper C.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that really make up the bulk of our clients. There's a growing awareness, and yes, we are targeting you mostly the ones, and they are the ones gravitating towards our clinics, like middle 20s to about mid 40s. Definitely those that are in the working group, which is what feeds our clinics, are middle class. The thing with Filipinos, going back to what I said earlier, is that family is a big deal, right? Yeah. Okay, so the first line of attack is for the families. Right. Yeah, right. So, like again, for example, we do have, just so there's easier access for them, and because that's one of their top worries, not just tuition, not just housing for their families here, but the health of their families whom they leave behind. So we have things, for example, like our health wallet. It's the first, we're the first to offer it. So because we have a network, and they can access it, and we're fairly distributed in Metro Manila, though we do look forward to even putting up other facilities some more. They can have that loaded, just like you would load your prepaid phone load, have that loaded and use that as a debit card in any of our clinics. Right. So we call it our health wallet. So they can buy that for their families here, and it's transferable, and they can load it so their relatives don't have to really literally carry cash. And definitely in terms of healthcare, we're seeing that I guess we've been successful in a way in persuading people to be more wellness oriented, and therefore to keep themselves from being confined.
Yeah.
So we are just offering basic services. Definitely we want to expand our services further. We see where people gravitate towards the usual. Of course, there's still the continuing need for good doctors and good staff. That's a given. But there are certain services, for example, that definitely we see a lot of growth in, especially minor surgical procedures, for example, specialties like diabetes, dentistry.
Well, so thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
I think you lots of notes.